Hello everyone, welcome back to another video. My name is Riley. If you haven't known me already, I'm a go-kart racer, and this weekend we travel to, once again, Cooloola Kart Club to chase after a track record. Unfortunately, we were away and we missed round 2, which involved a 20-lap final on the end of the day, which I was very sad and a bit upset to have missed. But we return for round 3, and we have a target in mind to try and retain, or I guess make a comeback and regain our track record status. Because we were away at round 2, someone had unfortunately broken the track record and extended it even further. So now in this race, coming back to round 3, the target was pretty simple: win the race meet, set another track record, make OTK proud. Now, without further ado, let's get into the action on track. So here we are for my qualifying lap, doing a 37.992. So coming up turn 1, trying to keep the car all straight through the corner while braking, not getting too sideways, running right out to the exit as you see there. Sweeping left-hander, no bumps there anymore. Small trail brake into turn 3. Just use the kart to sort of flow around the next 2 corners. Brake deep into this turn 5 here. Coming over the crest, trying not to hit the curb there, as it'll throw you off. Sweeping right-hander, keep tight but don't use the curb there either. Just kissing the inside curb there before the last corner. Running up to the line, getting the toe, boom. And that sets us for P1, so pole position for the first 2 races. Doing a 37.992, I believe. Pretty good qualifying considering the fact that I'm using old tyres, but yeah, the kart felt pretty smooth. But anyways, that's pole position, and now we will move on to Heat 1. See, we are here at the end of Heat 1, guys. Arm in the air, victory done. I believe my fastest time for this race was a 38.2, so about 3/10 slower than what I pulled in qualifying, which is not really ideal, because I thought Heat 1 or the final would have been the times to do the track record time, as obviously as the day goes by, Heat will be coming onto the track, and it will probably slow the track down a little bit more, but we get the win done anyway. Now the goal is to try and just hold the pole position for the rest of the day through Heats 2 and 3. We're here on the start of Heat 2, lights go out, we get underway. Number 2 sort of jumps me on the start there, as well as 2 other karts on the outside road just get ahead of me there. I was off to a pretty terrible start, I must say. My motor just didn't really seem to get off the line as ideal as I wanted, but now we're sort of stuck behind the kart number 7 of Brooke Wilson here. and we can sort of just see, just look at this. It's just getting a little bit slidey in the rear there. Just sort of seems to upset the kart a little bit. We in fact actually have to lift entirely through this corner just to not sort of nudge him there. And now he gets a bit of a narrower, tighter line going up the corner, bogs his exit a bit, but we sort of get a better exit, and we have an easy job done there. And now we look on behind as we've just passed Brooke, and yeah, he's just sort of sliding a little bit around a bit here and there, but his driving is actually not too bad, although yeah, his car's just sort of sliding a bit everywhere. But now we move on to chasing the front of the field there, the two guys up front. One of them which being my teammate for the weekend, Bradley McNaught, in the number 5 Tony kart, with another set of Power Republic stickers. But so Bradley's driving the 401RR here, while I'm driving the new model, and so is Luke Thomas in the lead there with the number 12 of a brand new Cosmic 401T. As you can see through this lap, just gaining heaps on these two guys. I'm not really too sure if their tyres weren't coming on, but I think this was probably my fastest lap of the race here, actually doing a 38.0 in only, I think, what was the 3rd or 4th lap into the race. So pretty interesting that I'm setting my time, or quickest time of the session, so far early on, when the rest of my times throughout the race were about 1 or 2 tenths off maybe. But as you can see here, just trying to gain on Bradley here, and he seems to get a good exit, but we have the motor up the hill. Try to look at getting him moved on, but just seems to block very well. But he gets a wide exit there. We've had to sort of just check up as we just gently nudged him a little bit. Think about a move into turn 3, but not quite there. And even if I was there, it's a bit of a interesting corner to throw a send on there. But as you can see here, we're just totally all over Bradley. Maybe, well, not entirely, but we are faster than him. But unfortunately, I think he, just get too much of a run in through the corner before and just wash up big time coming off the exit. But again, we're faster than them up the straight, and again he goes to defend, gets a wide line and just sort of bogs up the exit a bit. We think about, we're a little bit closer in this time. Can we throw a move? No, not quite. That is a pretty tricky corner to throw a pass on, but it's not impossible. But anyway, that's the end of Heat 2, and provisionally I thought in this moment the number 12 had done a jump start on me, which is sort of a yes and a no, and I'll show you why here. I was in fact starting the race pretty slowly, well below the 30 to 40% mark, and as you can see that as the light goes out, his nose is ahead, so really he should have been behind me. But at the same time too, I was starting the race pretty slowly, like before, like below the 30 to 40% mark, so it's a 50-50% argument, that one, I would say. Yes, I started the race pretty slowly, but I think in the end you are supposed to technically follow the leader. So what do you guys reckon? I reckon that's a bit of a 50-50. Bit of a research on that one. But by the time that I was starting the race, I was in fact at like 25 or something kilometers an hour when I looked at the data initially in the moment of the race. So yeah, but anyway, we now move on to the start of Heat 3, now on the rear vision camera, starting on outside row, and get a massive boost there from the bloke behind in the Cosmic Kart, and we in fact actually jump Luke Thomas in the other 401T kart, and we are actually now leading the race. So for my goal this session, obviously now that I've finally got the lead off of Luke on the start, which is a good thing, I can try and just run away up the front and try and punch out as many fast laps as I can while trying to chase for the track record. In this session, I didn't believe that it was track record setting times, or pace rather, purely because of the time of day. It was at its hottest. I think this race was happening at around 1 or 2 o'clock in the afternoon, And yeah, just obviously during these times, like on any track in general, maybe is probably not the most considerable time, or the best time rather, to be setting for a track record. As you can see, Luke's still we're not leaving him, and he's not gaining on me, but he's sort of just there keeping us a bit honest a bit. As we come to this corner here, sort of just gently touch that curb, and it gives me a bit of a poor exit. I've had to, in fact, actually defend going up the straight. Now he's on my outside alongside me. He touches my side pod, and then my teammate Bradley goes through on the inside there. And look at that, wheel-to-wheel contact. If they had been any more side-by-side, rear wheels touching, they would have definitely have gone up and over each other. In fact, I don't even know how they didn't, in fact. As Thomas tries to go for a move there in the background on Bradley to gain the position back, but unfortunately for Luke there, he's stuck behind Bradley for the remainder of the race, while we sort of just pack our bags and sort of run away at the front. Unfortunately, I think in this session we didn't quite make the track record again, but we did cross the line in first place, so we've in fact now got the pole position for the final, where hopefully we can go after that track record in a more ideal track conditions as by the time the final rolls around. The track will be cooler as the sun's going down, because it won't be shining on certain spots of the track too much, and yeah, the track will just cool off and ambient temperature will go down and can start just getting faster and all that. So yeah. Alrighty guys, so here we are at the end of the final, and we have taken the victory, we've taken the W, and not only that too, but we have secured our status once again as the track record holder for tag restricted medium with a 37.966, I believe, and in fact was actually set the exact same time on the exact same lap as with Luke Thomas in second place. We both set the exact same time in the exact same lap, but because of a technicality, as I was the leader and because I was the first one to cross the line first and to break the track record, I am indeed the number one, or I guess the main status holder of that. But in my book, I would probably have that as a shared record if I had my say in it. But the rules are the rules, and unfortunately there can only be one. So there you have it, guys. That's the end of that weekend's action up at Cooloola. So once again, we've taken another victory at Cooloola. Yeah, that's our third win of the year. And once again, the track record further extended. Thank you guys for tuning in to yet another video of my incredible racing journey. I would like to take this moment to thank both Power Republic and Ultimate Kart Academy for being a part of my weekend, and also providing me an incredible go-kart package for me to drive on with the year. I'd also like to thank Racing Image for the incredible sticker kit design that they've collaborated with Power Republic and myself with. I'd also like to thank, an incredible thanks to Cooloola Coast Kart Club and its volunteers and all the people that could just make the event so much more enjoyable. This is a very fun and an incredible go-kart club to come back to. Every time that I race there, I always have fun, and it's always competitive. But most importantly, it's just that. It's a fun club to race and be a part of. Well, this is where the video ends, guys. And I'd just like to say thank you very much for tuning in to yet another video. And I will see you all on the next race. Goodbye for now, and as always, keep on racing. Goodbye.